magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. Greetings, everyone. It's your main man, low-mic'd Frank Castle, your Sorcerer Supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. There we go. There we go. Shout-outs to everyone in the Fearless family. I'm just getting everything straightened out here behind the scenes real quick. It's great to see everyone here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, joining us. My co-host, Paula Milo, my etherical translator. She's there. And we're going to take you into, I guess, hyperspace, right? Into another realm. Shout outs to Solaris Blue Raven. I was on her show last night, Hyperspace, and it was fantastic. I didn't get any promotions out for it. My apologies. Hi, everyone. Greetings. Shebang. What's up? Wow, look at that epic beard growing in. I don't know if I can handle this through the rest of the winter. It's good to see myself and good to see everybody else. I love you very much. Thank you for being here. So much has been going on every week. That's the whole thing, right? So much is going on. Last week, turn of events, right after the Leo full moon, it like drove Paula and I into 3 days of madness. Leading into it, no problems, whatever, basic stuff like everyone else. And then right after, I'm like, oh, this is the best. Done. I did a video in the Fearless family. Shout outs to the Fearless family. Go over there and join us. Just answer the question and we'll let you right in. The video was reviewing my last Aya session. It was so intense. Excuse me, so groundbreaking that it bent my perception on everything yet again, allowing me now to see even better, more clear on what's been happening around me, what's been going on with us, StarShip FearLess, Fearless family, my own family, other people, by just looking at them, being able to stand next to someone and seeing advance some possibilities. One of the things, I was talking to someone on the street, and I run into them often, and you know, you get friendly with someone, but I might be friendly with you guys, the Fearless family and stuff, but when I meet someone here, I'm just cool. I'm just like regular, right? So I don't say anything, and immediately within moments, just looking and connecting eyes, I knew, don't even talk to this person. Like, keep it flat and then just keep it moving, because it's just not going to work out because of the type of person that's being hidden behind the mask. And then I thought to myself, that's a little judgy McJudgy for me, but not. So let's see where this goes or whatnot. Just to 2 days later, someone catching him in mid shade right in front of me. I was like, oh, it's like that. Okay, I get it. Hard to make new friends in this sometimes. You got to watch everyone. You have to be aware of the perceptions, and there's not a lot of accountability with people anymore. There's like, because everyone's wearing masks and doing all kinds of stupid things. Because you get to dress like a ninja doesn't mean you get to act like one, right? And the mountain of ridiculousness, by the way, with the media. I want to look. We all know the 3D stuff that's going on, right? We've been aware of it. A lot of us have been saying for a very long time that this is the truth. This is what's happening. But you can't, I could tell you all day, but it still takes some of you to see it. And then upon seeing it, some of you are like, nah, it's all whatever. It's the system we're set up to be in. Believe it. Right. So instantly when I hear something like that from someone, I put you in a category, right? I put you in a category as not wanting to uplift yourself or move yourself and motivate yourself into a better position, into a better path to be on a better life, that you're willing to just accept the system, when the system, we know the system is comprised of all these things that you don't really want any part of, right? It might start off cute and nice. It might say a lot of things you like to hear and kind of capitulate to a few things that we can deal with, and then it smashes you. It leaves you no recourse. Now they're talking about everyone being criminals. They were talking about on mainstream news, just literally going at, look, I'm not afraid of this, right? So they were saying to go after Trump supporters, anyone who supported Trump, with a drone strike on the news. On American soil. And people are like, yeah. Are you fucking nuts? Okay, we've gotten to the point of bizarro ridiculousness in your face.
Wasn't that one of the last Avengers movies? They wanted to go after everyone with drone strikes. What did you knock down, Mommy? You okay?
I think her tail got stuck in the lights.
Okay.
You start to say to yourself, wow, this is where they're going, right? You've heard of, and if you haven't, you're about to hear it now. Hi, by the way, I love you.
Hi. Oh, you're wearing a shirt.
That Canada has concentration camps for COVID disbelievers. All right. Even if it's one, even if it's the thought of having one.
No.
Yes. Hey, Reg, be careful. Watch your feet.
Oh, what was
even in the case of it just being a thought that we're going to push this forward, you should be very angry. Very angry. What are you doing?
How come it's not going?
Because you're hold on. It's the wire is stuck and you're bending everything.
All right, I'm sorry.
You'll snap the whole piece.
All right, I didn't know. Okay.
Your cats won't let you.
You don't even know what's been happening here.
All right, so talk like that, just in general, right? If anyone ever said that prior to what's happening right now, I imagine, like in my grandfather's day, if they came on TV and were doing what they were doing now, we're trying to promote a certain way over the people. See, we weren't dumbed down enough yet. The people were still hard, strong people, right? Now, I've talked about this for a long time, the emasculation of men and making women more manly with the feminine movement, right? Being the way they present it to you. Yeah. So it's like a flip on everything, right? China, and this isn't for the Chinese people. It's just the way the system was working. Oh, you're going to love this. This is while you were sleeping. So
I was sleeping for 45 minutes.
Well, I checked some stuff and bang, there it is.
Okay. all
Right. So
I'm just making sure it's
they're
the same
at a point where they were doing the one child policies, right? So they were.
Oh yes.
There was
yes,
issues with that naturally because
yes.
they're
Yes.
doing a. Hold on, let me fix this for you because
Thank you.
that's not right.
Thank you. Okay.
They became oversaturated with men, right? And I always said, since I'm a kid, I realized when I heard of these policies, I knew that this could only lead to one thing by doing something like this, that one day we're going to attack you with all our men and then take all your women. It's like one of the oldest things that you can do, right? So China is now in ads and everything else attached to that kind of stuff is presenting their men to be more masculine. So like they're
Okay.
pushing that they do like men do men things. So think about like old school dudes, right? Oh, you're gonna cry, baby, right?
Oh,
They're
I
pushing them
see,
into
I
that,
see.
like be a
Okay.
man,
Okay.
be a man. Men do this. They go out in the snow in their underwear and they were sticking their hands in the snow. And I was going, oh, okay. But no, it was one of those things like go out and be a man. See, we don't have rituals for ourselves. We may find someone else's rituals or rites of passage as disturbing or ridiculous and funny, but we don't have any. So like we're doing ayahuasca. So ayahuasca is like a rite of passage.
I don't
So
want any. I don't want any rituals. I just want to get up.
you
and
do it at a
go.
young age. This is okay. So we'll go back to I'm all coffeeed up right now, so I don't want to jump on you sleepy style.
No, it's okay. It's totally okay.
But
I'm catching up.
they would take.
I'm quick.
We'll use 300. In 300.
Oh, in
they,
the movie
they took
300, yeah.
Leonidas as a child.
Oh
right?
yeah,
And they just took him and threw him out. And
With
they
a
were like,
spear.
"Yo, come back!" Yeah, with a spear. And they were like, "Yo, you got to come back with a wolf, or don't come back."
Okay,
Right? Or if you come back without
something
it,
big. Yeah, don't come
we're
back.
gonna kill you. You're not
Oh my
worthy at that
God.
point, right? And then in certain African tribes, they would literally put the acacia, right, in the bladder and attach it to the tree and send a 12-year-old out there, ritualistically speaking, to go drink from the bladder and then go get a lion. So you go out with the spear, drink from the bladder, and now he's blasting himself with ayahuasca, right? And then now go, and they would do it, right? This thing would happen where you're presented with some crazy task, and then you as a man go through this rite of passage. Well, it humbles the man as the experience because you're standing there in your underwear with a spear and you got to go get a lion. You're 12 years old, right? But everyone else does it, so you're like,
I could do it too, I guess. Yeah.
It's the
all
way
right.
people were living.
No, I get it.
We
I just
here in America will tell a 5-year-old will tell his teacher to go fuck herself, right? Where does this happen?
your nephew's dead, and your mother.
This is what I'm talking about. So to not be
no, but think
it's
about
funny, but it's not funny.
It is funny because think about this. Okay, that kid was 10 or 12, right? In the movie, he had to go out. He went out with a spear. They didn't even give him a coat. They gave him a spear, and he had to go kill something and bring it back, or not. Don't come back
Well,
at
don't
all.
come back.
Your nephew was 10 years old, and Diane had the dog up at your brother's house, and the dog pooped, and your nephew couldn't even handle that. He was like, "The dog
She's
pooped.
like,
I can't do
they
anything
called
about
my
it."
mother from. This is how much we don't have a rite of passage.
Right.
I'm not shitting on anyone. However,
Literally.
here, wait. You got to sit in the camera with us.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh, it's
he's
funny.
like, "Yo, the dog went to the bed. Can only went to the bathroom on the floor.
You have to come home.
You have to come home and clean it." So she's like, "Yo, I'm at the store. I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Could you just pick it up and clean it?" And he was like, "No."
And he's 10. Could you imagine him going out
No.
with a weapon and having to kill something? He'd be like, "No,
This is-
I'll
all right.
die. We'll
So
just start over."
Here's another one. One of the rites of passage in other tribes and ceremonies would be, let's just say, to drink ayahuasca, right? And as a man, you learn as a young man, very young, to understand what a woman is. So I'm using men as the example. I haven't used a woman yet because I only can speak from my half.
Okay.
The rite of passage for me would be to understand that because maybe I'm a warrior and I'm this and I'm that, I also have to be 50% like, this is my mother, and mother is the goddess and has to get into this understanding of the sacred feminine so their tribe could exist. So they have respect for the elders because they're going to go out into a battlefield and murder things. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
I
Can we
do.
fix this?
No,
Come here.
totally. I
wanna
could.
fix this
Could
'cause
you
I like this
imagine if
sweater.
your rite of passage was you had to debone a chicken? You'd die. You'd have a heart attack and die. Or cutlet. Make a chicken cutlet.
So without this rite of passage thing, she's staring right at me
Because she's laughing at you right now.
but I don't know if that's cat laughter, but she definitely speaks when the truth is here. Like nuns today wouldn't survive the way they used to.
Nuns? We were bringing up nuns now.
Rite of passage, when you were a kid, you went to St. Clair's, you knew you were going to get punched right in your face. You knew it was coming, but you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, this nun touches me, I'm going to break her right in the jaw. And they punch you in your face, and then you just shut up. Well, because you're learning respect in a place where they're going to teach you. And
humiliation at the same time.
Yes, I agree. It's actually, you know what? The camera looks weird. It's actually torturous in many ways, where you're sitting with a dunce hat on. All right. I told you we had a 17-year-old because he was from Italy and he was like 2 years behind. I was just turning 13 into the 8th grade, and this dude's driving to school, right? You're wearing the dunce hat in the corner, and then he's so much bigger than everyone else, right? Those fucking 2 years are just insane. And he was sitting there, and he would just take the scissors, he would wait till the teacher leaves, and then he spoke broken English. So he'd be like, hey, right? He would pick up the scissors and go, hey, stupid hat, and throw them at you. And you would just be like, whoa, because he's so much bigger that you would just duck the scissor and be like, whoa, you're crazy. Then rather just pick up the scissor and go over there and handle your business.
No, we had a
kid.
We had a kid like that.
Come on, this is going way off course.
No, we had a kid like that in high school. He was I went to junior high school from the 7th to the 9th grade, and then I went to high school from 10th to 12th. And we had a kid in junior high. He was in the 9th grade. He was driving.
That's the most insane
driving.
thing.
I was like, how is that? I mean, I'm bad at math, Frank, but he was driving. He was on the baseball team. I think he must have been like 22 years old.
It reminds me of that scene in the bench warmers where they couldn't beat them. So then at the end, they bring in the Spanish guy.
Yeah,
he's got a mustache. And he goes, hey, man, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 14. He goes, you're 14. You got a fucking mustache.
No, it's the same thing. You don't know.
All right. So there's the rite of passage for us was you were going to learn some semblance of, like, when you go to karate school, you get like this self-mastery. Even in the nunnery, listen, in the Catholic school, you build a resistance. Now, Catholic school kids, and then you had public school. The public schools were nuts when I was a kid, when you were a kid.
Oh, yeah, it was the wild.
So my mother's like, you're not going to that school because it's just absolute. You're going to learn some. This is what she used to say.
It was the breeding ground for sexual harassment.
You're going to learn some respect, and Stabile's going to teach it to you. But you're going to love it because it's better than going to school over there where it'll go down every day. Now, for me, it was going down every day outside of school.
Yeah, but you couldn't have been in a public school. You would have forget about it. You would have thrown someone through a window.
In 8th grade, I lost my mind and beat that giant Italian kid. He hit me in the back during a test right at the end of the year, those final tests. Mm-hmm. And he just punched me in the back when the teacher left the room. I threw him a beating. When you just had enough in life, where you're like, I don't care if Miss Pop comes in here and sees me. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. And then we went outside and we did it. We had an Albanian guy that was in there too that was a slightly older, but everyone respected him.
Like a Dolph Lundgren.
He had muscles. He had boxes in his stomach, and the girls were all like, wow. And then every kid in the entire school, there was like, put them together, there wasn't enough muscle to be just the muscles on this kid's stomach.
Because he was,
and he would stand around and be like,
he was probably
he wasn't a troublemaker.
Everybody else.
I was like, what the fuck is happening in this school? Anyway,
I don't know what's happening right now.
So rite of passages, we didn't, they don't have them today. So, right. So we're drinking ayahuasca. So Aya's explaining to me, well, you never this lifetime have an understanding of actually what's happening here. like who your mother really is and who like
Right, 'cause
Paula
they
is,
brainwash us.
who
Yeah,
your
the
grandmother
memory
is,
is wiped. Yeah,
what
yeah,
DNA
I get it.
is.
How
Like
it all links
you,
together.
yeah, you have
how
a
it all ties together.
rudimentary thing,
Understanding of life.
of what they want you to understand. So you don't even have a good enough understanding on what they're trying to tell
No,
you.
you're right.
Which is what people tell you. You're crazy if you don't believe the science. And it's like, that's a theory, bro. Good theory. As you can see, yeah.
It's a theory. Evolution is a theory.
All right. So
it's not a fact.
They give you an 80% or 60%, somewhere in there, truth. And then just the lie is like making it outside of you or just something else, or it can't possibly connect. Scientists argue with each other over things constantly. It's like the M theory guy and the string theory guy are both correct, but they're both looking at two different layers of the exact same fucking substance. It's like saying, well, it's got spaghetti in it. And it's like, yeah, and there's meatballs in it. And then, yeah, there's sauce. You got all these things together layered, like in a sandwich. Sorry, this fucking kid from school he was so Italian. He's got me back in Italian again.
That you're making meatball analogies.
Yeah,
okay.
because it brought me back to.
All right,
Ayo.
all right, we're good. Okay.
He used to hang at the fucking cafe
because he was probably 6 years older than everybody else.
I was
he
like,
probably
is he playing cards with like the 80-year-old guy?
Yeah, because he probably had a wife.
And coming into St. Clair's at the 8th grade did not help him with his ritual whatsoever. Sorry, we're just having fun with this right now.
No, we had one of those kids too. He was like shaving in the 7th grade. It's like...
No, well, a bunch of us were like hairy, but then there was like a dude with the beard.
Like, yeah.
Dude, what happened?
Yeah, he's like, you have a full-time job. Like you fit in a full-time.
I've been working since I'm 6. Somebody light me a Marlboro. Keep an eye out for Stabile. Come on, Frank.
Oh my God.
Be like, nah, man, I ain't into that, bro. All right, so without the rite of passage, we get screwed out of so many things because there's no understanding of what is actually going on. You're just born into a place. There's no real ritual that is, or anyone teaching or discussing any of this stuff. So you're just left out in the cold and then taught all this weird stuff. Sit up, stand up, sit down, right? Kneel. This was St. Clair's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you say? Shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Shut what?
Mm-hmm.
Detention.
Yeah.
It was instantly.
Share your opinion.
You couldn't even get
but if
your
it's an
answer out.
That
you
they
were
don't
just
like,
in detention.
Yeah, you can't share it.
Or my favorite, you could explain it to me there. And then I'd wait all day with a written fucking explanation of how I'm going to tell this fucking motherfucker how it is. And I'd get in there with her and she'd stare me down and I would crumble and crush and not say a word because I knew you'd get a left hook. And it taught me respect in a weird way.
Frankie, you're 47 years old. You bring this nun up, Sister Stabile, almost every show.
I know she's watching over me.
She definitely impacted
I made
your
Fordham,
life.
and she said
she's still alive, isn't she?
No, Stabile's gone.
She passed.
Yeah.
Your mother had her when she was,
and so did Debbie.
And Debbie had. Oh,
and
yeah,
then all the cousins
had her.
Oh yeah, everyone that lives up in.
So she was ready for you.
Lake.
She was probably done by the time you came. She was like another Delgado.
She goes, "You look just like your mother."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I did to your mother? I was like, no, but yes, actually, there's stories that echo through the whole.
But I don't believe any of them. Let's just start fresh.
They gave me shit every single day of my life until I made Fordham Prep. I was one of like 3 kids, and then I was the one that went, and then this other kid went, and he got kicked out the first year. I got kicked out the second year. I got literally kicked out. He failed out 100%.
Oh, you got thrown out.
I got you don't come back here ever again. I was like, it's so weird. You guys got all this fraternity garbage going on here where it's like really hazing and in
Yeah, I don't
really
like any of
weird, it's borderline homosexual. Like when you're getting into that, like a bunch of dudes
I
sitting
don't like
around
that
going, "Get
at
him
all.
naked, and put the umbrella up his ass," and you're like, "Well,
Yeah.
what? That's not even funny."
That's a control thing.
You know,
I
that's like
that.
weird stuff that you're like, "Yeah, let's not do that." And I'm like, I'm the guy that you want to throw out, and they're like, "Well, you're frustratingly annoying." And I knew it was just me. I didn't fit in. I just did not fit in with the. They were like, "Well, he came from St. Clair's. He wore a blazer every day." I'm like, "Fuck your blazer." Once again, a kid that had no ritual and no rite of passage. So even me, I was
Outlier.
no, I was a silly, ignorant in so many ways. But then when it came to 3D, the street, the Bronx,
Oh, we were talking about that. Yeah.
I could be a translator here
You could.
for people.
Yes,
Like
you could.
if you're like, look,
You could.
we know we're all speaking English here, but the people from Utah coming to the market,
because it's a neighborhood thing. It's a specific.
Who do we got here? And they're like, send them with Frank.
It's a neighborhood environment, and if you didn't grow up in that type of neighborhood, you could never understand that type of violence. And,
no rights, no ritual.
And, yeah,
you wouldn't be bullying someone if you had a ritual or a rite of passage. I'm sorry, in a ritual that is a rite of passage. Sorry, I'm high. You wouldn't do that to somebody. You would uplift them instead of picking on the nerd and kicking the desk over.
Of course,
you would be like, "Hey, how are you?" Or you'd not say nothing and keep it moving. Or if you saw someone else doing that, you would get involved.
You're absolutely right. We're talking about high school. There was a kid that went to high school with me. He used to sell the what do they sell, the candy, and they fundraise for the school. And
I can't see the screen from here anymore.
All the pretty girls would never pay him for the candy. And he would always say, "Take anything you want, Paula, you could have it for free." And I used to say, "Stop giving your candy away for free, because you're going to have to pay for this fundraising box, because no one's paying you for candy. So stop fundraising, because you're going to have to pay for the whole thing." And he's like, "Yeah, but that's the only way people talk to me." And I said, "You don't need them to talk to you. I'm talking to you right now." And I would always pay him for the candy, because I knew that kid was getting screwed. And he would rather have to pay for something he didn't have the money to pay for, to have people talk to him. And I always thought that was so mean. Like, I was never a part of any of that. I never liked any of that. I was friends with everyone. And, none
of the girls, everybody always thought I was nice, and I was just
we didn't hang out with kids like that at all. And if we did, like, if they came around, they didn't stay around long. Like, we weren't about that. Weren't about that. I don't like that.
When I started doing Grease in 8th grade,
you definitely should have been a drama club kid from the
murdered
beginning.
It. They went, "Oh, what is this?"
But you should have seen. But you didn't get to do it in high school. You should have been.
No, I did do it.
Oh, you did.
I went into high school good.
Oh, you did.
I went to my first dance, and I had a football jersey. Oh, like the football team had to wear their jersey to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
And girls were. I never had a girl talk to me like any of these girls did, and they were throwing themselves
because
at me.
the tables turned.
I didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Because the tables turned.
Some girl gave me a monster hickey that I got in so much trouble. I was trying to hide it from my grandmother, who beat me with a shoe. And then I had the Jesuits in Fordham, and they were like, I don't even know what to say to you. Like, the guys were proud of me, but the women there were like disgusted with me. And then the men would get disgusted with me and go, "How did you let I go, I never did." That was like my first time doing everything, like anything.
Yeah.
Nobody would really talk to me until the end of last year in school. So that puts me at like 15 years old. That's so crazy. No rites of passage, no respect for your elders. Like, people hear that, they don't even know what that means. Look, if we lived in a society where you had a rite of passage, people like punching old ladies, dudes that play the knockout game with old men.
Yeah.
Okay. Notice how they always hit a kid that's 16, or a dude that's like past,
that's terrible.
58 years old. they sucker punch people, or they'll take some old lady, and you're like, dude, that is totally uncalled for. Anyone watching that would just involve themselves, and immediately those people would be taught lessons. I don't want to push violence. I'm just saying, you like,
no. I think
you
that's
do something like
terrible.
that, and someone's in the crowd and can see that, there would be an instant stoppage. Instant. People would jump. Men would just be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
You know what it is? It's
Men would see like, "Oh, there's 5 of us here."
We learn.
Nobody would have to agree. I'm sorry to do it. We would just do it. There's 5 of us. We got this. I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't even get up for old ladies on the train here in New York. I mean, some people do.
I know, but most people don't get up, and it's rude. And, you know, the funny thing is, I think we learn to love ourselves too late, and we learn to respect ourselves too late in life. It's not something that we're taught strongly enough, early enough. And I think that's a lot of the problem. Like, you know, I think when you love yourself and when you respect yourself when you're young, I think it's very easy to stay out of those situations. I said, but if you don't know that, then I think you're having a very hard time getting out of those situations.
It all stems back to not being brought up properly through a situation that will teach you to be a better person all the way around. If you started at a young age, you would just love yourself. You would have never stopped loving yourself. You learn that at a young age, and then you grow into a position where you don't even have enough time to think about that, because I got this, right? And if you just slowed it up and started a different way, you could still teach them all the other nonsense. Most of the shit that I learned in school, the stuff that stuck with me is how I had to react to people socially in the school.
Yeah.
It's not none of the shit I learned. All right. Reading, writing. There you go.
No, but you're right.
I'm not really using the math anymore except the times table. And I use a fucking calculator. We did it the other night. And by the way, terrible Asian at math. Totally. That's like her worst. She could cook a motherfucker, but man, her fractional skills are fucking in the negatives. Get it? Here.
I can't excel at everything, Frank. I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing you because it's one of the funniest things.
No, he's serious. I am. I'm very
my point is this. Look, we only have to do certain things, right? And the things they taught us in school, the history, it's turning out to be mostly wrong. Right? I remember regurgitating something I learned in history in college, and then people that were literally connected through the DNA and everything that had family there at those events were like, oh, that's not what happened at all. So you learn that. What do you mean? Well, there's 2 sides to the story. There's
3 sides.
You know what I'm saying? I would hear it from the college. You'd get drilled into your head. No, this is it, man. We're in college, bro. Look. But
now we understand that
you want to make money in this world.
It depends on the narrative. It depends on who wants the story told and why. Right?
Listen, I got a psych degree. That shit is all fucking bullshit. You got to know people by getting in there and digging in with them and getting a clue of what the fuck is going on with people in this world. Not reading a fucking book about some psychological thriller killer with weird shit that goes on. I'm like, a lot of this can be taught quicker, and then you should have to like deal with people of all kinds, because being in the Bronx, you see through the bullshit. I couldn't explain this to people. It's like your bullshit meter goes off, so you know the person is lying. Then you know if somebody needs a hug or a handshake or a fucking good job, dude, or hey, you know, we all have those thoughts sometimes, but you know, this is what we do to help heal that shit. They don't do that. They fucking write on their little scrubby pad. I was going in that direction. I'm great with talking to people.
You are. You're wonderful.
But they don't want it to work the way I could make it work. It was always, it has to be like this, or you'll never make it out there with this, because this is the real information. And you get out there and you regurgitate that information, and a lot of it's not true. Yeah, you find out it's one-sided. Yeah. I was from the Bronx. Just being in college was enough.
It's a whole new world. Just going to Westchester.
In my house, I became the guy you couldn't talk shit to, because Frank's in college, bro. What do you?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
You know, and then when my brother went, it was like, Frank doesn't know what he's talking about. He only went this far. Rob fully graduated, did all this shit, and got A's across the board, and he got like 2 B's. So fuck Frank. But it's okay. It was in my house. It was like a right. But look how still ignorant we were.
I had coffee in my mouth, motherfucker.
Let's spit it out.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, look. So all of this stuff I'm combating at the later ages in life and all the crazy stuff in society is built on you not having this as a young person and not really understanding or getting an understanding of what's really going on.
Right.
And being
yes, you're just wandering out there aimlessly.
linear,
all of the stuff that you learned about sex came from your friends.
Baz and Mark.
Yeah.
My buddy Mark. Who
All
are both
of the
older than me.
Yeah, who were not having sex. None of those kids had sex.
No,
or maybe they had a couple of encounters. Okay.
I had no idea. Everything they showed me was just
horribly figure it out like everybody else, right? You had to be in it.
Well, all right,
and figure it out.
So a terrible experience for me.
No. You don't.
No. It was my rite of passage from these guys that we're talking about is what put me in the room with that older chick at 14 that ruined pretty much everything until I started drinking ayahuasca because I couldn't there was no way ever you as a woman can over dominate me. It's impossible. I won't let it. Right. Or then you got to go. Right. If you were able to do it.
Right.
So that was because she grabbed me by my wrist and flung me to the floor and laid on top of me and I couldn't do anything.
Well, she wanted some Frankie.
Well, she tried.
She traumatized
and it ruined
it did
any fun because there was no respect. There was no rite or ritual. I didn't know what to expect. I had just people throwing me out there.
Right.
With,
and that was
with a 6-pack of extra tall boy beers.
Horrible. That's horrible.
Weird.
It's horrible. That's terrible.
Because we don't have that. Right?
No.
Even under here you go. Even under Aya, I've seen things like, well, that's when the dark energy jumped in right at that moment. So you didn't have a shaman with you or an older brother or a father that was in place. You had a grandfather who was doing the job of 20 fathers. However, he can't be everywhere at once.
Also, the age difference is a little greater, so it's harder to have those talks. You know, I kind of get it. I didn't talk to anyone either.
Well,
I didn't talk to anyone. I had my aunt, but I didn't.
Grandpa's cool. He's the best dad to have.
Yeah.
However, he's not going to play catch with you because I don't think he knows how to throw and catch because he's from. I've been in the butcher shop since I'm fucking 12.
Yeah, I get it.
And he's already 70.
No, I get. I totally get it. I totally get it.
So there was this weird dynamic that was happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was
my life, no rights, private. No ritual.
I never said a word to anyone. I never spoke about any of it.
They brought me to karate school. They figured that would help me, but it was already too late. When I got to the karate school, they let me fight a purple belt just to see where I was at. And that kid kicked me so hard that I was like, yo, I quit. Any tears that came out when he kicked me just flew off my face because I've never been hit like that.
Oh my God.
And then went to the bathroom and stayed in the bathroom for 20 minutes because I felt like my insides were coming out of my asshole. It was the craziest experience. And then they were like, you ready to be a man? And I'm like, no. Like, I feel like I just got bullied like I did on the streets that got me to this point to come here to this school. Once again, it takes a tribe to raise a kid. There's no initiation ritual. Men wouldn't act like that. They wouldn't put people, young boys, we already know where this can lead, in through certain processes, or young women with no rite or ritual, and you having no idea, and then you getting caught up at 12 years old in the craziest shit.
Right.
Because there's no leadership quality in you, because you're not being presented the opportunity to even know about that. So you get an external character giving you this, hey, you know,
right.
And you wind up fucking up over and over.
Because I don't think parents were very honest with their children when, I mean, I know my father never said anything. Like, he said everything in front of you, but like, if you asked him a question, he would never give you, like, if he didn't know what to say, he wouldn't give you an answer. He'd talk about 10 other things. But there's no I think now there's more transparency. I really do. I think now people are more transparent with their kids and they let their kids know like what's really happening. Yeah, I think it's much easier to talk now than it was to talk a long time
Back
ago.
in the day,
Yeah, people
our
didn't.
day. So
Yeah,
I'm 47.
people didn't
we had
share.
Catholic school.
Yeah, there was no
because
sharing.
You had to put them somewhere, and you're going to put them in a place that's going
Right.
to build this character for the personality.
But it doesn't.
So it's an indoctrination center. I was going to get to this. It's
Yeah.
all indoctrination. We lost the rite of passage and we gave it away to someone else. And now at 47, taking it all back, it's our birthright. We're talking about ayahuasca and DMT and all this, and people are like, oh, they're just getting fucking high or whatever, but we're doing better mentally than all of them.
Mentally, like this
which
is
the point.
This is bliss. Like people don't like well, you guys do get it because you're here, but and you've been here literally, and you've known us for now. Do you know it's going to be 6 years? In 2 months, it's going to be 6 years.
Yeah, I tried to tell you this the other day, and I forgot in the middle of telling you. I think Easter's on like the fucking 4th.
Is it
this year?
April? Okay.
So
yeah.
We're not till the 3rd week, but according to this year, it would be like the 2nd. It would be like the first
so
of the
it's April,
or 2nd
April
of the month
4th.
of April.
Okay. Yeah. So in a couple of months, that's what I said. In 2 months,
because it was the night before Easter.
Yeah. So
that's how we remember it.
Frank and I. This is so stupid. So Frank and I met the night before Easter 6 years ago. And basically from the day we met, that night that we met, we didn't know we were going to be together. We knew we were going to be friends. Without question, we knew we were going to be friends just because of the ease of the conversation. So this is going somewhere. Like there is like Frank and I,
shout outs.
Like Frank and I talk about that. Like there's full transparency. It's like, look, let's, in the beginning, we said it straight. Like, look, let's not bullshit each other. Let's not. Yeah, I won't bullshit my kids. Yeah. Like I think now parents have a transparency with their children that parents didn't have before. Like, oh, don't tell them anything. And don't, you know, like,
they would hide it from you, and then you just go out and do it with your friends.
Yeah, like Gary Shandling. Like they didn't. I think he was 13. His parents never told him his brother died. His brother died, and they never let him know he died. They just said he never came back. Like it fucked. Like it fucked him up.
Oh,
like
boy.
You know, I mean, so the way people handle things are the way their children ultimately learn how to handle things.
It's almost like they took the.
And if they can't handle things, their children can't handle things. Like, you know, like so. So anyway, we had met the night before. We met the night before Easter.
Sorry.
6 years ago, and we knew that first night that we were going to be friends, right? So now it's 6 years we're together. Haha, it's a joke. So, but we didn't know what day it was, but we knew it's the night before Easter. So every year our anniversary is whenever the night before Easter is. We don't have a date. I mean, we could find it, but
I could go back and look.
But that's what we do. So every Easter, whenever it's Easter, it's the night before is our anniversary.
How you feeling?
I feel excellent. I'm so proud of myself. I adulted yesterday and today. I felt great. I colored my hair for the first time. The last time I colored my hair was before we went out for Ellen's birthday. We went to Little Italy right before COVID. It was actually like two weeks, I think, before the lockdowns.
Really?
That was the last time I colored my hair, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing it because my birthday is coming, and I said I'm just doing it.
So you're feeling good about that, right?
I feel very good about that.
So when you were younger, you had no rite or ritual.
Nothing. I never spoke about anything. I never said a word. I was like, you call me a spy now. You call me. Look, I have shit in the vault from the 7th grade.
They took, and I mean, the society, the mathematical formula to make society take one thing and transform it into something else that's less, making you think it's more because it's comprised of you stepping on what was once your tribe. I'll explain. Tribe, everything's working. Then they break the tribe down into these individual parts, separate them, give everybody like more names and more different things instead of just every guy is dad. We get who Papa is. We get that.
Right.
But out there, they're all sacred masculines. So
Right.
it's like, yes, father, yes, father,
Yeah,
yes, my
yeah,
brother.
yeah. I get it.
They
Mhm.
took that away and created uncle, this, that, the other
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And
I
then
get it.
second cousin, third
Yeah,
cousin,
yeah.
separating you from the one source of your tribe, then making the family smaller, then saying, no, you got to go get your wife. Then you got to go get a house. Then you got to have 2 kids, further separating you now from just other people, your friends, your this, your that.
Right.
So they broke. All right. They turned tribe, which was already family, into family, now into these units where they want to be babies instead of babies. Look. Do you see what's being presented?
Yeah.
Because I could talk to them all day, but I'm looking directly at you.
I'm listening.
I know some of it's like,
I'm
that's a lot.
I'm
I just woke
listening.
up and got.
I'm listening to everything that you're saying.
Right, but they're breaking it down to that.
I get it.
What is the one thing, the pin they removed from that structured element was not allowing the tribe to help raise the child.
Right.
Okay, giving no rite of passage, no ritual thing to make me understand who this beautiful woman is that has been birthed me or takes care of me or is with me, and at the same time what I am and what I'm supposed to do to help this specific being or any of these beings with anything. And you know what I'm saying? Because nothing's by coincidence. So it's synchronicity. If I'm seeing it, I'm involved in it. Of course, it's happening in the street. Like if a dog attacks someone or a pack of dogs attack someone on Morris Park, it's going to be a while before anyone jumps in. If you did that to the tribe and a pack of wild dogs ran in and grabbed a baby or something, you're going to get 20 men with spears in 10 seconds trying to protect the whole situation best they can. They act much faster than you having to get on the phone with 911. I'm just saying, you see how they separated it so far out and made it so big and so many that nobody gives a shit anymore. So there is no rite of passage. And then they feminize the male. Look, I'm going to just say this from the bottom of my heart, you motherfuckers that wear skinny jeans. If you're not skinny, stop wearing them. And if you're skinny, stop wearing them. I went shopping for a pair of jeans, fucking pair of jeans. And all they had was slim cut and skinny jean. I'm like, who the fuck wears this? And then I got a vision of my cousin who was wearing the tight shirt that was pink with the numbers on it and the skinny jeans, and he's thicker than I am. And then he's like, what's up? You ain't even rocking like this. I'm not even having this conversation with you. And I looked at him like, I can't consider you like
a man. What are you doing? You're
wearing
like
manly in any way. In any way. But he is a man, and he, you know, no, I'm just saying,
it's like he's a kid.
They're turning this and reverting it into this other thing. Now, in other spots, they're giving it back to them, but in a different way. The way they built men here with John Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just
it's a little too much, man.
Yeah,
it's a little too much.
Like, we're gonna go out. We're gonna get it done. This was the comment about being in the snow in your underwear. They were just chopping the snow and doing stuff as a group of dudes because yo. It's what we do, bro. We're men. What you a pussy? This is what I'm talking. This was everything in 108 growing up. Don't be a fucking pussy.
In the high school
schoolyard. You would scream that. People would go, God damn it, what's wrong with you?
We hated going outside.
Like, oh my God.
Walking across the parkway, forget about it. For hearing the cat calls, it was horrible. We used to just hang your head in shame.
All right. So they're letting that go on now in a place, and I'm not spreading fear or some weird stuff. Feel this out, where there's mostly men. And they don't know what to do. So the population don't know what to do, but I'm going to tell you who knows what they're doing. You're not telling me they don't know what they're doing. They've been positioning this chess piece game for the longest fucking time. They're playing the long game, and the long game's about to be abruptly halted.
You know, I was friends growing up with all of Frank's friends, and I used to tell them, like, when I would come around, it was like some of them would just freeze like deer in headlights. Like, they wouldn't speak, they wouldn't look at me directly. It was like, we don't know what to do with it. What do we do with it? Do we
Right.
play
Well,
with it? Like, what happens?
Nobody teaches anyone. All right, I'm not taking away from the ones that did or do,
Yeah,
but there's way more that don't, or at least need the help to know that they can do, because having this taken away is turning the tide in weird directions.
Well, look what's going to happen now with this COVID, with all these kids home alone now on computers, not socializing with
You're
other
literally
people,
watching
not knowing how to socialize.
those of us that are living, because it's some of us would say, well, I see that out there, but my frequency is like, let's say 5D frequency, right? I'm just saying. Some people will say this, right? So they'll see that man lady they hired to be the health czar or whatever,
okay,
that's wearing a lollipop outfit, and it's like this gigantic weirdo dude that says right. So it's like, oh, the evil lollipop princess, who's actually a hairy dude, is working in this position for the US. Wait, so now all the health czars are over 300 pounds, and you're gonna and sickly if they're not overweight, and they're like, you must do what we're telling you to do. So I'm watching this from my frequency going, oh, this is fucking clown shoes. But if we weren't switching out the frequencies, we'd all be stuck in that, because that's what we were trapped in.
Yes.
So this is where it was headed. Remove all the layers. Imagine if Hillary Clinton won. I'm going to put I have to put a timeline on this. Remember, we were talking on the show back on TFR that I was having nightmares of like tanks coming down the street and this place being
I remember
destroyed,
that.
you being dead, and the cats being dead, and me going outside trying to kill the neighbor, thinking that he did it because he was just standing there, and I was like, and then I ran to me and said, "What are you doing? Don't do that." And I was like, I don't know what's happening. They were like, it's a timeline thing. Just hug him, tell him not to fucking kill anyone, because that's when he loses his shit. And I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. And it was like a war that was brought to the streets of America, like real war. And I'm like, yo, what is this? And then they worked backwards from that point and explained it to me. We talked about it on air. Okay, well, these are all of the same ilk, the people. So you can see the 3D frequency evil, darkness, and the 5D prosperous light being, starseed, like starting to wake up, returning at, this was my point earlier, was at 47 and going into my 50s, that whole 45 to 50 I'm spending relearning to have that ritual and rite brought back into my life, so I can be a better man for you, a better man for them, a better man for me is number one, because you get the best Frank. If I can be the best version of me, then you only have Frank. To. Yeah, well, I'm saying I still have to go through my processes. I appreciate that. So I'm learning the ritual now and the rite of passage now, and then trying to create leaders doing that themselves, so then they can go and they can show their kids and they can be part of this, because it starts with you and then moves to the next one. Like, you don't help anyone on the plane when the plane's going down until you put your mask on, then I can help you with yours. But if you're fumbling around there and you pull my mask from my hands or something before I'm set and ready to go, you could kill both of us.
Okay.
It's just, it's a way of grounding, getting your shit together, and then being able to just move left or right and help. And I was talking about this on Solaris's show. Aya expressed to me specifically many occasions about how we work. And it's always the hand that's right in front of us. Like, we're not looking like, hey, we're over here, come find us. We stopped doing that a long time ago and started just going whatever. And then people just started revealing themselves. And then that's who's literally asking for help. Right. So Aya's like, one person helped so they can save themselves with the medicine, with the way you work, is better than, 100,000 people waiting for the next Jesus to come in on the cloud, because they're actually grounding the light in a way that's like, everyone's grounding it, but you have to have anchors. Like, there's levels of this regardless. Even though I'm not above anyone, we took the ley line here. So why us? Well, someone that had the ability to withstand and do it, be what we are. It's what it took to take back this area. You know what I'm saying? So there
I
is a
get it.
relevant importance to
Oh, I
every
get it.
version of all of this,
I get it.
right? But off the ley line, it might be a little easier to work with one demon in the house
You
running
know how
around.
far this bubble goes.
No, that's
The
what I'm saying. Ours
golems even
echoes
know.
out like
Yeah.
womp, 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 womp. They only say stay away from the train. Like they're like,
Yeah,
when you
it's-
go up over
yep.
here, we
Mhm.
kind of can't do nothing
Can't
for
do anything for you.
you. You know, that's why you get the
Mhm.
anyway. So now we're reintroducing this back into our lives, into people's lives again. We're turning back on and activating and remembering. So it's like this ancient structure that was built in us through repetition of nonsense throughout how many times we've been reincarnated, how many fractals of us there are. That all has to be shattered and thrown out the window.
Right.
Like the rule of law of Rome, right? The Roman rewrite of the Bible, right? It doesn't mean that the books are wrong. It just means that the rewritten to make it external from you is wrong, but the original text are knowledgeable, and even these texts are knowledgeable, but to understand your rule of law is keeping me away from me. Like I'm always giving it away.
Right.
But the truth is, it could be the same exact story. You could tell the same story and just say, and Jesus is in your heart.
Right.
That's it. And then you're like, whoa, wait, you mean he's in me? It's like, no, it's in each and every one of you. But if you explain it correctly,
Sacred Feminine, they
you
vilified
get
her
a
for
true
centuries.
Christ consciousness delivery system. By the way, there was some Jesus post on my page the other day. I didn't put it there. Something must have happened. I went on my post and it said something about if you don't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, whatever. And people were getting mad at me like that. I posted that and I was like, I didn't post this. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I literally have no idea.
You didn't know where it came from?
No.
Okay.
And it was shared from someone I was just unaware of. I don't know. It was just one of those weird experiences. Right. I just wanted to let the people know, not that I'm ashamed of anything. It's just that that's not how I roll. But teaching it correctly at the young age automatically teaches you something inside your heart that is correct, will allow you to believe in yourself, believe in your spider sense. It wouldn't have to be a dirty, grimy cop on TV going, I should have trusted my gut, right? Like that's the guy that's promoting that, you know, the having a spider sense. Who else does it? Random people. Oh shit, I should have trusted my shit. We see it in the movies all the time.
I do it all the time.
Okay, so why are we further from it and not closer to it? Even though we know it's 100% helpful.
Because it's
in every layer.
Because it's not out there. It's
because
in here.
Because it's not taught at a young age.
Oh, did you show them your shaman shirt that your dad made?
Yeah, my dad made me a shirt.
Get up and show them the pocket. Actually, show them the
It was Jesus.
It was Jesus.
I know Space Jesus. He's like, yo, don't even talk about me.
Oh, Solaris, I am very sorry. I do apologize that I did not make your show last night. Frank told me today that he did try to wake me up 2 times and I was basically dead to the world. So
now, I told the story on the show.
I'm sorry. You did? Okay.
I was like, yo, she is out. Sorry, I got to do the squeeze play. Yo, I thought this was really special. It's really weird. My dad was like, yo, I made this for you. So you got to tell me if I'm in the.
Oh, yeah, you're in it. Up a little. Yeah, you're in it right there. Okay. 1-800 Ayahuasca. Okay, turn around and then show them the pocket that says shaman. Yep. He actually made
with
that
the tree
for him.
Of life in it. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome, dude. He goes, I just wanted to, you know, have some fun with it. I thought it was great. I think it's great what you're doing. He's like, it's really funny. There's no promotion for this. He goes, and then why would you promote that anyway? Once again, rite of passage. It's like scary to people. He's like, but it works. Mm-hmm. So it falls into that lane of, you know, you should do it. Stop being a fucking pussy.
He's going to drink soon, I think.
I'm telling you right now.
He's so open to it. I have a feeling he's going to drink.
No, I know. Everything he says and does draws him closer to it.
Yeah. Reggie's being a good girl.
Yes, she is.
I'm surprised.
The upgrades have been crazy, huh?
So it's been like a cat hotel here. We've had every cat in the neighborhood copping a squat somewhere here. The last,
Could you hold this down for a minute?
yeah,
Talk about
the
the last few days.
the last week with the snow, and it has been. Thank you, baby Jesus. It has been peaceful, and Frank and I have just been cleaning like we've never cleaned before, sweeping and vacuuming and such, because it is just. Frank's like, it was less than 12 hours that I swept this floor. And I said, I know, it's like the beach. What are you going to do? But everyone's been in, and it is just, it is whatever. But you know what? They're all fed and warm and dry, and they're my babies, and I love them. And we even got the two in that aren't fixed. They found 2 spots in the kitchen I made for them to hang out, and they come in for a couple of hours and they get warm, and then they go out, and then they come back, and they can stay if they want, but they never do. And it's been awesome. It's just been hard because Frank and I have been on I just feel like a janitor now. I feel like a cat waitress.
Janitor Milo.
And but you know, whatever. So what do you want to talk about next, Frank?
Well, I was just gonna wrap it around.
He's just going to wrap it around, he says.
Everything is relative. Sorry. So I just want to wrap this around. I had a mushroom experience because I've been rebuilding my neural pathways like a motherfucker, right? And I made a joke that the mushrooms weren't that strong, right? And then they looked different than what they said, what they were supposed to be. But I was told, no, they're just the little ones. Don't worry. So I was like, all right. But I ate them on a full stomach, and I started to feel the weirdo feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, this is going to be easy peasy, light train. So and I said, hey, mushroom, I feel you. You feel a little easy tonight, right? Maybe it's a little too weak. Maybe I should enhancify that. But I had taken 1 gram and 1.2, right? So I was like, that should be enough. 3 hours later, tick, 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 tick. It starts really digging in. Hello. I'm like, whoa, completely forgot at that point. I was just trying to smoke and watch some TV. And the mushroom was like, yo, lay down. Go lay down for a minute. They were taking me out. First, I went outside. I looked at the moon. I came back in. I was like, oh, everything looks crazy tonight. I saw the stars. Like, I felt really good and enhanced. And I laid down. And this is what it showed me, because it has to do with the removal of the ancient structures, which is in the title of the show tonight, and what we were just talking about, not having rites and rituals. The mushroom said to me, is this strong enough for you? And giggled. And I slid. It was like it was a DMT experience, but it felt so good. It was like I was in the theater, and the theater surrounded me. Everything was purpley and red with the lines and everything. And it brought me through this area and showed me this. I don't even know what I was looking at. It was like a statue of someone sitting there. But I said, I know. And I usually don't talk like this. I was like, I know that all of this is inside of me right now. Like, I was doing that. And I go, what is this? Why would an area inside of me look like old rock statue? Remember how this wall looked before we painted it? We were just disgusted with
like
it.
a stone statue?
Yeah, but you just looked at the wall and you're like, dude, I want to fucking scrub that and paint it so bad.
Yeah.
That's what I felt in that room.
Okay.
But like, this is my area, but why would it look like rubble on the side of a mountain with this statue?
Why wouldn't it be beautiful?
Statue?
Yeah.
And then this thing looked at me, and I went, oh, that's it. You got to go. And I ran up to it, and it moved, and I saw it cracking, and it was like, why do I have to go? I've been here for so long. And I said, I'm not even going to ask you who the fuck you are. You're getting out of here, punk. And I grabbed him, and even the mushroom was like, we witnessed anyone do it like that yet. I ushered this dude out like I was a fucking bouncer at a nightclub. I was like, you go anywhere you want, but you can't fucking stay here. And guess what? Don't ever fucking come back. He was like, I don't have a place to go. I go, you do now. It's out there. And you walk right out. From me, it just looked like the light. He was walking out to the light, have a nice fucking life. And they were like, wow, you grabbed that dude by the arm. Do you know what that is? And I'm like, no, but that it's alive and did that means that maybe it shouldn't fucking be inside of me. And they were like, that's the old structure. That's you saluting the statue of the god, thinking it's a capital G when it's a lowercase g. That whole structure in there is gone. And they didn't mean Frank. They meant my fractals and all, like, it's there. Get rid of it. And when I got rid of it, the whole thing crumpled and was like a nice light, like this light right here, colored room. It went from the rumble to that. So it's important to release. This is my thing.
Yeah, you don't need that old structure.
Okay,
you don't need...
release the old structure. That would be deemed apocalyptic, right? Because that's the actual definition, falling away with the old structures. But you would think like, well, I let my structures go and it's gone. Well, you guys know me now for years, and I've been letting go of structures, and it still brought me to the finale, the thing in the mountain that had to be kicked out. Everything from having a dragon on my back. They're like, why is the dragon on your back? Ask yourself that. And I'm like, I don't know. It's mine though. And they're like, yeah, but you're not you can be the dragon. You can be with the dragon. But why is the dragon on your back, like sitting on you like that?
Weighing on you.
And I'm like, I don't know. Hey, dragon, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, I don't know. I go, yo, you acting lazy. How about you get up and fly around? Show me that you can fly. When I get to it, no, you're going to fucking get to it now.
Apprehension.
This dragon of mine started that way. It looked at me so angrily when I kicked it off of me, but it was my fractal, my dragon. And then looked at me like, and I was like, you're going to fucking do what you got to do. You're out on your ass. And boom, turned white. White as my shirt. Big, like blue, that light blue. Almost like it was a,
aura? No,
one that you would find in the ice, like an ice dragon. Like it was just beautiful, and then came out. It was camouflaged. If it was camouflaged on the icy mountaintops, that's the kind of dragon you would have found there. That's what this guy looked like. And it was of the light. So my point is for everyone to, start digging into yourself and seeing what triggers you, what's blowing your mind, and then kind of like, if you can't take it, I mean, I guess walk away from it. But if you're getting the tingle to look directly at it.
No, I'm being a little more aware of my triggers too. Like really doing stuff that I don't want to do. I know why it triggers me, and
that's so important.
No one needs to know why but me, but I know why it triggers me, and I'm just very aware about not putting myself in a situation to do something that I don't want to do. And if I do it, I have to own the fact that I did it, even though I knew I shouldn't have done it. And being a little bit more honest about that has helped me with a lot of other things, because I'm not putting myself in situations I don't want to be in, like not offering assistance when I really don't want to help. I think it's insincere. And so I'd rather not offer if I don't mean it. And it's been working for me so far. And I don't care how I come off to people as, like, I don't care how you take it. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Well, if you're not saying it like
I'm not saying
disgusting way, and you're just saying like, hey, like standing in your sovereignty.
Yeah, like I'm standing in it. Like if you need me, I'm here. Call me. But I'm not just gonna offer up my services for no reason.
Or to be dragged down or
to be dragged into it. Like I'm not. And I feel good about that. Like even choices that I make on a daily basis to get stuff done in the house, like what gets done and what doesn't get done. If something doesn't get done, but something else does get done, as long as something gets done and it's not nothing gets done, I'm okay with it. The order doesn't matter as long as things get done, as long as they keep moving forward. And then,
well, one of the things we've learned even as a couple is that you may have your list, but the day starts and you got number 1 on your list, you're ready to go with that, and
Yeah.
you can't get 1 through 4 done.
Yeah, so you do
yet.
5, 6, and 7, and then you go back.
And
you
then
know,
you
like
go back in
yeah,
reverse.
you got to do what you got to do. So that's what I did today. We had whatever. So it just
Well, what happened was we went through 3 days of crazy, and then came back and activated, and we're cleaning this place. And
yeah, we
going
did
to
it
work
yesterday, and we got some. We didn't get much done today, but I mean, everything's pretty good. You know, everything looks pretty good. We just have to get that couch cover on. It's just
that's the one thing.
it's the one thing that like we just want to change the couch cover, and it's like the one thing that can't get done, and I just don't understand it. But it's the way it is. So, but a lot of other stuff got done, so that's good. And I'm feeling blessed. Like I
yeah,
feeling grateful, feeling blessed. Like supposedly we're supposed to get another snowstorm tomorrow
morning.
That we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know what was happening.
Ready I finally got my car out.
Diana Roker ended up telling us. So she ended up calling Frank and basically apprising him of this up to 9-inch snowstorm. So all we have to do is we have to.
No, the craziest thing was I spoke to her. She went nuts about it immediately that I didn't know, and I was unaware.
Right.
And all I said was, I need to go maybe food shop and get some eggs and stuff or whatever.
Well, we could walk to the butcher and
but
get
the
eggs
butcher's
and
right
bread
here in the
and
corner.
stuff like
So
that.
she loses it completely. Oh my God, you better go right now. Like,
meanwhile, we have
what's
a
happening?
freezer full
Like,
of food,
so
like
then I'm
a deep freeze.
I
full
go,
of food.
it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. And then she goes, okay, then don't help yourself then, right?
Don't help
So
yourself.
I get off the phone with her, and then the phone goes off and goes,
And the emergency alert,
warning, snowstorm coming in 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Now up to 9 inches of snow. And I went, you son of a bitch. She should have just worked or go to work for the weather.
Yeah, she should have, or she should.
I said, you'd be rich right now. You'd be on the news. This is Diane's news report. Come join me in the Bronx, the boogie down.
Well, what we'll do is
live from Orchard Beach.
We'll have to, as soon as you get up, we'll have to walk over to the butcher together.
I'm here with cannoli. Yeah, you don't got to talk about that on air. Get out of here. Jesus, don't go with the personal stuff on there like that. Nobody cares about Mike the Butcher and what he's going to do for us and what we're going to have to do to make scrambled eggs. We don't give a shit about that.
I care about Mike.
We want to talk about UFOs, right?
That's all there is, UFOs?
I don't know. They're everywhere. If you got okay, so check it
I
out.
know they're everywhere. I'm the one.
Let's talk about this for a minute.
Right there,
I want to ask you questions. Okay, so you've watched a couple of the videos with Gina Marie.
Yeah, that lovely lady that watches the
From
sun.
My Heart to Yours.
I love her with the short haircut.
So awesome.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's not right. That doesn't look right.
She's been showing videos now for 2 weeks of all different kind of plasma objects that are just appearing on cameras all around the world, including yesterday the black sun.
I've said
in Russia.
Since 2019, I've said I think there are hundreds of thousands of UFOs out of our view. I think that our U.S. space fleet, whatever it's called, knows about it. I think they're in communication with them. I think
communicado.
I think there are so many that they have no they have no choice but to deal with them.
Yeah, that can overwhelming
and
force.
I'm ready. I'm just ready. I'm like, as long as you, like I said, as long as you got a bubble for each one of these, I'm good.
Some of the weird stuff that's been going on, there's been more drip UFO stuff, more plasma.
What was that? Tell them about the thing you watched today on YouTube. That guy, the guy from the U.S. space fleet or something like that.
I don't remember. I watched a couple of things today.
He gives us I think it's like
that dude.
4%
No, so check this out. I don't know his name. He's a bald head, mustache. He was on Gaia. We were watching Gaia.
Gaia. Okay.
Someone shared their past thing with me, so I was watching the latest episode of Cosmic Disclosure. I haven't seen it in so long because I stopped even looking at any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But this guy was all right. So
it's like
he was on. Oh God, Emery Smith was interviewing him, and he said this guy has been in space fleet and in actual physical combat with multiple different ETs. Wait, his whole thing. I was like, give me a fucking break. This guy, I got more scars on my fucking face than this guy has on his body, and he's been at war with the reptilians and shit. Anyway, so he was, however, discussing the drib drab. We picked up. You really picked up on it.
It was the minutia that he was giving. Basic minutia,
basic truth, detailed information.
What color the suit? Like
fucking matter.
Stupid shit. And I'm sure people are eating it up.
And that's the truth stuff. The rest, I don't even know.
I'm sure it's true. I'm sure what he's saying is true. He was in the Avatar
project where he puts his consciousness into the other body. He was running around as a reptilian over here or an ET over here. And then they said, and you were in these other things. Oh, and in the mech suits. We were totally in mech suits running around. I'm like, so he Pacific rimmed. This guy's fucking great, man.
Yeah, I think they're giving the public what they want to hear.
But inside of that fantastic story of craziness, there is truth being delivered.
Oh yeah, sprinkling of it, but it's minutia.
They spent 4 minutes on the color of the grays.
Oh yeah, like people, like how many different
and I'm like, none of this fucking matters. And they're going, okay, they're not really gray. And I'm like, no, they're fucking like, gray, right? He's like,
whatevs.
No. Listen, there's the gray, green, the gray, the gray.
Okay, back on topic. He is sprinkling information.
And then they were just so I was like, that is all true. What he just showed, and more. There's so much more.
But it's all ridiculousness.
But it's redundancy of ridiculousness. But I think that it's because when he was talking about that specific stuff, they were flashing the pictures of the size and the height. And all the different colors. It looked like the rainbow collection. Like it looked like the new action figure, Wave 5 comes with all the different versions of the same guy. Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like to me. And I'm like, oh, that's what they're presenting. That is true. And now they're showing you literal confirmation through drawings and stuff just during that part. So it's like almost when they give you the little bit of drab truth, but it's so everything else is nonsensical around it. But they're by flashing that page at you while he's discussing, and that's the truth, you get hit with the frequency. Oh, yes, of course it'd be like that, just like human beings. We come in all shapes and sizes and colors. It makes total sense. Bong, it's in your head now, gone. You're done. It's there permanently, which is fine. So there is purpose for that. So anything that they would use against you to trick you, because then you use that guy as this guy obviously is in Space Force and has fought the reptilians. And then he comes out, he's selling a fucking book and doing all kinds of shit. He's being allowed to give you the drip drab and be out there because they got to tell you some stuff. They have to drip it out. But if you bring this guy out for credibility factors, you still can't prove a fucking thing on that plate. Right. Mm-hmm. It's still a subjective mess until somebody comes forward and goes, here we are. Even with us, even with our story, it's the story. What's reality? Well, are you real? It's like, well, I'm here with you. Okay. But can you touch? Yes, I can touch you. I could just smell the candy you're eating on your breath. I could feel your hair. You said, what's up? You gave me a high five. You winked at me. We sit next to each other. We hold our feet. Yeah, it feels pretty real. Okay. Then it's fucking real. But I've done that with a light being in front of you and Ellen while she was having a death experience while looking at Nibiru, and the two of yous were just doing your thing. And I had this crazy, ridiculous experience where I probably looked just like a weirdo holding my fucking sticks up and my wands and everything. Like, it was just weird. But I grabbed the guy next to me and he said, get off me, man. Let go of me. And I said, I'm not letting go of you. Are you real? And he said, yeah, I'm real. Get off me. So once again, subjective. She's standing there with the other girl. They're having an experience right over here, something completely different. I backed away, and Paula even told me, because I was like, think my stuff's kicking in. Mm-hmm. And you were like, I got it. You were and knitting, right?
I was knitting.
Weren't you knitting on the porch that day at that moment? And then you were like knitting, and you looked up and went, Ellen just died.
Oh, I was crocheting. Crocheting. Yeah. Ellen just died.
And I looked over and she went, and then I was like, hey, you okay? And then mine kicked in.
Right, but it was fine.
But my point was, it's subjective because she was having an experience. You were crocheting, having an experience, taking care of her next to me. And then you were like, that it was your attitude that made everything cool.
Of course.
Because you were just like, I go, where else can you say that?
Nowhere.
And then Ellen got up and was like,
I just.
And then it happened again. And then I was like, oh, okay, she's with Mother Aya. It works every time. And then I was pulled away.
Because at that moment,
hey, come over here.
I'm the babysitter at that moment. I'm mommy. Okay. If I freak out, who freaks out? You freak out. If I go, oh my God, I think she got
No, but it was
no, if I hold it down, then it's all fine. Then your experience is fine. If I start to freak out, you start to freak out.
No, but the best is the way you do it. It was almost like, from my perspective, it was like you didn't even need to look up. You just knew.
She's dying. Yeah.
And it was like in a comedy movie where the lady's just kind of not even paying attention. And hey, buddy, I think she just died. And everything stayed at that.
Yep.
It never jumped into the, oh my God, inside of me, seeing that happen to her. And that's a discussion for another time. And see, it still works me up.
Yeah.
Something about working with Ellen where I'm like overprotective of her. To see that, you always see the death face of the ones you care about. That's the hardest part about being a shaman. I get to see your death face every time. I mean, you've seen mine, so it's okay. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
No, I have seen yours. You died like.
Oh, I'm back. I'm dying. It feels so good though. I don't even understand why this feels. Oh.
I don't even know how many times it's been that you died, and how many times you died in front of me. I think
man,
it's like 100 maybe.
And then my mother doing it, and then everybody else that's friggin' that's been here. They give you that look, you know. Zervos looked at me one day when he was here, and we talked about this on air. He goes, I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and I thought he was joking because I was still okay, not realizing he wasn't there. I thought we were on pace with each other.
Right.
And then I said, are you kidding me? And you were right. He goes, no. And the look he gave me, I knew the machine was being turned off for a minute. So you get to become like the light body on whatever's happening in your mind. You're going that way, but your physical outer shell's looking at me. When I worked with Gina Jin, you know, good looking out, Gina. Like, I'm glad she's like on the other side watching us. And she went down on the couch and she did and it looked like the whole room morphed and moved. And I watched her go through her experience and I went, oh my, like I thought the world was ending for everyone. And then it just snaps back in and I'm like, wow. And then afterwards I got to look at you with a straight face and be like,
no, usually you come running in and go, oh shit, you're not going to believe what just happened. I already know. You
know, Jay grabbed me and was like, you didn't tell me. He goes, you didn't tell. He was so fucking big. Jay was so big. He grabbed me and he was like, you didn't fucking say it was like this. And I go, like what? He goes, it's so beautiful. And I go, I told you, it's the best I could do. The best I got. I can't even explain it. Right?
You don't get it until
over and over throughout.
Yeah, you can't get it until you've had the experience. It's
so intense.
It's impossible. It's impossible to understand unless you've done it. It really is.
And what it's doing is it's giving us an advantage we were at a disadvantage for so long. You're not supposed to be at a disadvantage in this. All right. You're supposed to be able to just live, create.
Look, I had an experience. Remember when I was closing contracts? My arms were moving so fast, both of them. I was signing contracts like I felt like Santa Claus, and I was scrolling through contracts, signing contracts. I felt like Santa Claus with a nice and naughty list. Closing contracts. Frank was like, your arms are flailing. Your arms are moving so fast. I'm like, Frank, I can't sign them fast
I saw Shiva standing kind of not above you, but like higher up. And he had every arm had scrolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were all, and you were looking at all of them signing off on it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I tried to close everything I could because I'm done. All those fractals there.
But there's so many. I was like watching you go through that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Frank, I had a very bad habit of taking ownership of you. Like, now you're mine. Like you're my responsibility. You're my responsibility. You're my responsibility. And it can't be that way. So all those contracts had to get closed. All the extra work involved. I'm just done. I don't want to be responsible for anything. I just want to adult when I have to adult, and then I want to be left alone. And that's it. Like, that's really it. Like, just give me peace. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. Like, that's all I want. All I want is to be left alone.
But that's all right. So you coming to this planet, that's like your right to have that. And sharing space with the things that are going on now, there's many of us out there that want that. What you just said.
Oh,
I want to be left
absolutely.
alone.
My whole
but
life
they're
I
like,
was
when
never
we want to
left
hang out,
alone.
we'll hang out or whatever. But when it's time to just whatever, stay the fuck out of here, right? I mean, across the board.
Yeah, I did
know?
QHHT, and I had great experiences. I didn't understand them at the time, why I was having those. My last QHHT experience right before I met Frank, and they kept showing us. They kept showing me these lives, these past lives, and I was like flying through them, and it. Can you put that up?
This one?
Yeah. Oh, I think there's hundreds of thousands of ships
I've
out
seen them
there.
Up there.
I think they're right out of our view. I think our Space Force knows about them. I think they've already been communicating with them. I've said this for a long time. I'm ready. I'm ready for I'm just ready for anything that's going to happen. I'm ready. But the QHHT, you can close things out by going through the therapy, going through the process.
Right. There are other ways to do it.
There are
you
other
don't
ways.
need to do ayahuasca.
No,
and
there are
mushrooms.
other ways to do it. But however you get there, like, I try to make the most out of it. If anything is going to happen, no matter what modality, I'm going to try to make the most out of it. I'm going to try to learn, like, why are you showing this to me again? Or why are you showing this to me in the first place? And then, like, sometimes you just have to ask, like, what is it that you want me to see here? You know, whose perspective do you want me to see? Is it the way I handled it? Is it the way it was going down? Am I not looking at it correctly? Or is it something I'm repeating? Like, you know, help me here. You know, if I'm stuck, help me.
This is great. You keep going with this because,
you know, like, you have to
these
ask.
are the questions. You don't just.
You have to
submit.
ask, like, if they're showing
Submission
you
is
something and you
not
don't
lashing out.
understand, you have to say, you know, please help me understand what you're showing me. What do you want me to see here?
So I don't have to do this over and over and over again, right? Like, teach me.
Yeah,
so I
show
don't
me,
have
teach
to
me.
come
Like,
here
you know, like,
or
when you
meditate and have this occur,
right,
where I need you over and over and over to help me with this. It's like, no, teach me how to fix this, and I'll just fix it.
Well, it's funny because it ties into QHHT. So they kept showing me in my session, they kept showing me healthy marriages, dying of an old age with a husband, and the man looked like the guy on Chicago PD. The
Casey Jones in the original Ninja
Yeah.
Turtle
So
movie.
this is this man who I didn't even put together at the time was probably Frank. They kept showing me all of these lifetimes with the same man, and different lifetimes. Like, even the we were living in times when there were no cars, and then there were cars, and then they were like, it was like just weird lifetimes. And then they were showing me as a point of light, and how quickly I kept being sent back. And I kept saying, you have to slow this down. I need it to slow down. I feel like every time I don't get a time to rest. And I've been saying this for the last, like, 15 years. I'm really tired. I just want to rest. You know, and then, you know, one of the people I talked to said, you have to ask for rest. You can't ask for sleep, because when you're asking for sleep, you're actually working while you're sleeping. You have to ask for rest. When you need rest, you have to ask for it. And these QHHT healings, they were showing me all these beautiful, happy lives. And what I went there for was to live a life essentially on my own. And they were like, no. And I was like, and I walked out and I was like, that's not what I wanted to see. This, you know, you know, and basically she was like, you're going to come to a fork in the road. You're going to be doing two things full time, and they're both going to have to, something's going to have to give. One's going to win over the other. And this is how naive and stupid I was. I thought I was going to leave my corporate job because I was going to sell items on Amazon. I thought that was going to be the way it was going to go. I had no idea that this person was going to enter my life, and we were going to be put in a position to help people this way or help people that way, or I was going to go in a different path. And I really literally had to make a decision because I couldn't do both. Or I tried to do both and I couldn't keep it up. So it made sense now, but it didn't make sense then. But I didn't ask, can you please show it to me in a way I can understand it? Please show it to me in a way I can understand it. And it was only until I told Joe, you have to ask her to give it to you in a way you could understand, that I realized that I should have been doing that a while back.
It's funny.
And I do it, but sometimes I get overwhelmed, but you can always slow it down. Yeah.
They said to me, we're showing you this.
Yeah.
So you can understand it as Frank,
and
go
like
literally
your stubbornness.
We're showing this to you. So Frank, right? That guy, he can take it and go, oh yeah, and just show it to everyone.
Right.
And be able to explain it top to bottom.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's mighty nice of you. And they're like, yeah, we're doing it like this. But that's what you're saying. If we just say that.
Yeah, just ask. Just say it.
Just ask. How's it? Is that the hardest part? Oh, wait, let's be honest, right? Is asking the hardest part?
No.
It's the hardest part. Like when you need help or you need information or you think someone could help you with something, not do it for you.
I think it's processing it is the hardest part.
Hey, man, do you think you can?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, how are you? I'm having trouble with this. Do you think you can offer some information? Yeah. How hard is that?
It's not. But if you don't ask, you know, you don't know.
No, but do you think asking is hard?
Oh, I think asking is hard.
How hard?
Very hard. Literally asking someone to help you.
It's like super difficult.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. You know, it's very difficult.
These are humps that we all have to get over in one way or another. Rites of passage that
I have an issue with it still.
We would already have a jump start on at a very young age.
A lot of other things
instead of Frank at 47.
Right.
But somebody has to do it blindly. But a lot of people have to just jump it. We're just all been doing that repeatedly, right? Because we got in, and then it's like, as soon as you get even a thought of, oh, look what's happening, boom, you're gone, and then you're back again. Point of light, descending again. But we got descending again.
Yeah.
But no.
Slow it down.
Right.
Yeah.
But now the net is off, allowing
that to stop.
Well, you don't have to drop no more. There's no more drop. Even if you got taken out right now, boom, boom, Frank and Paula are gone. We would never be starting back at square one.
Right.
You come back open next time.
Right.
And then it's a different story. You go, oh shit, that was hard, but now we're going. Or not. You wake up where you need to be. And this was another thing I was discussing. What home is to people. Right? Was there something you want me to?
Yeah, no, I think Nick is getting ready to go in, or Progeny of Light. He's getting ready to go in.
Yeah, Zervos is here.
Yeah. Oh, good luck and travel safe.
Sending you positive vibes, my brother.
Yeah, but ask for what you need. If you don't understand,
you need to start asking.
Ask them to explain it to you in a way you can understand it.
Don't let me call you midway through the show and
just say I don't understand.
Don't forget.
There is shit that I'm still processing. I just figured out that the man that they were showing me was Frank, because I was even telling Frank he looked like the guy from Chicago PD, and Frank was like, Paula, I don't care. Like,
I'll punch that guy. I go, that's Casey Jones. I'll have to knock him
right,
out.
But I think it was Frank. You know, whatever.
I'll have to punch myself in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, that's me.
I don't remember what I was just going to say.
Oh, all right. I don't.
One of the cool experiences I got, I was watching my video from the Fearless group while I was really tripping hard.
Uh-huh.
And you know how everything that you're shown or looking at for whatever reason, or it's being projected to you, there's never the coincidence. There's always something to learn there. Is it shown, like, why am I watching myself while I'm tripping? Like, that's what I thought to myself. I'm having an experience and I'm watching myself, and as I watch myself, I turned into the guy from Egypt, and my head was to the side, and I started to look like a sphinx. Right? Is that the Sphinx lion? But my face stayed the same, and it had the beard, but the beard was this way. And then it transformed back, and it changed into this other thing with hair, and it was moving to all the different characters. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. That's me. And, when you start the journey, you turn away from stuff like that because it gets a little scary sometimes, like to look in the mirror and see that occur, or to look at a video of yourself and watch that happen. I say do it. I say do it 100%. I say go for it. I stared in the mirror at your place, and it was your typical experience at first where it looked like it was gory. And when everything split and came off, I was the light being. So it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And then when I had to run into the bathroom to show you, because Aya was showing me that the tree was in both rooms. That was Aya.
Yeah.
And then you were on the floor looking up. And I'm like, is she in the room with you too? And you went, uh-huh. I go, okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. And then I like pranced literally into the other room like, yay, I know who I am. This is wonderful.
I know who I am too.
Let go of all those old crappy ways that no longer work for you, and as that stuff falls away, more of the real you arrives, and there's like space within you to have more of you, more light, right?
I like that. More
light, right? Yeah, I've been writing so many raps. By the way, shout outs to KG, Sons of the Sun, and Robert Hawley. I'm gonna be sliding into position, and then the next thing that happens, it's gonna be like flipping pancakes over, and then dun, 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 oh my gosh, this is a delicious pan. But dun, 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 here's another delicious one too. Dun, 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 dun. It's happening.
We can't make pancakes because we don't have eggs.
No, but I could make rhymes, and they're awesome like pancakes. You're awesome like pancakes.
Oh, thanks.
You're very welcome.
I am.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're so tired. You ready to go back to bed, bye?
I don't know. I think I want tea.
You want tea?
Maybe.
Do you want me to put the water on?
No,
you should go do it.
I can put the water on.
All right.
Do it in a minute.
I love you guys so much. This is great. If you have any questions that you want me to take a shot at answering tonight, just throw them up over here. I'm having fun at this point. If we remove this old stuff and the more room for the real you to arrive and fit into your flesh character so you can transform in this place, that's the greatest news I could hear is across the board for everyone, just to get rid of some of that stuff and let it out. After that, it's just living good.
Yeah.
You want UFOs and ET, get lighter, get higher frequency. Don't think that, oh, I am high frequency. Everyone that says I am the high frequency and you can't stop that shit, that's the person that needs more high frequency. Right? You want to show them?
Do I want to show them? So, you know how Frank calls himself a Frankenfoot? We call him a Frankenberry. So Frank was wearing a hat the other day and he was making a face.
Oh, I put the hat in the other room, I think.
And he looked like a Franken gnome. So Paula made a Franken gnome. Oh, I gotta go this way.
And something I was talking about on Solaris' show last night, you saying, I didn't know how to do this.
Oh, I didn't know how to do it.
And then, yeah, so I'll show you, cats. I don't know how to play it, but I've been practicing, right? So you want to learn to do something new, like a language
Oh yeah,
or
you
how to
just gotta
cook,
try it.
right? You got to like buy a pan if you don't have a pan. You know, you have the tools for the
Yeah.
job. Beards are being sent to the house of different colors, and there were all these little gnomes and stuff that she's building better than the original by a lot at this point. And now we're taking things and creating, and we don't even know why or where.
Right.
One of the things that's happening to me is I talked about this with you last year, 2 years ago, maybe, about that there's like a fractal of me that like sits at the piano and plays the piano and sings, and then there's like Preacher Frank.
There's Black Preacher Frank.
Right?
You're a black preacher.
So
you look like the guy from the Jeffersons and Luke Cage mixed together. That's who you look like.
Okay.
I'm telling. I've seen. Yes, and Luke Cage mixed together. It's like
Luke Jefferson.
Luke Jefferson.
Sweet Christmas.
But that's him. So I saw him when Ellen, I think, went under for the first time.
We're all doing things where we're taking chances, and we're just. I feel in my heart, right, being that things slowed down for us in our world, and I want for nothing. I desire just to upgrade me, but outside of that, I don't want for nothing.
No, me neither.
I have what around me. We talked about this, her and I, earlier, about how like I'm walking around here and I'm fucking content beyond whatever. Like I can't explain it. So inside of that, I'm able to. We all want to create and do different things. So I'm like, I should be playing a musical instrument of some kind. I should at least learn how to do something. But then I go, shit, there's no place for a fucking guitar, but a piano. There's no place for a fucking piano, right? You don't have to go through. We're in the future. Things are different, right?
Right.
Yo, 40 fucking bucks.
Right.
Works fucking like the best piano. Hooks right up to the fucking computer.
Yeah, it's a pad.
It's literally, and it has the bumpy feel to it. So I'm like, $40, and then they were like, yo, you could hook it to the computer. You could sample your own music. It has a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, I don't really need all that. I just want to learn how to do chords so I could add it to my music and then maybe help KG. And then we could like just do beats. I don't know, maybe melodies or rhythm stuff. Baby steps, right? And instantly I'm watching fucking YouTube videos and doing it. It sounds just like you would expect. Like what you're like, all right, let me get something and just work on it. And I wrote the name of the notes right on the keys. And I told Paula, every video I've watched or try to do a couple of times, they've all been too fast for me.
Yeah, but you're gonna get suggestions now. So
and my point was, last night I learned what like a D sharp was. I had a college class I took and played a song, and I had this chick with purple hair and blue hair next to me, and we played on the thing together. And I don't remember how I was able to do it because I was nervous when I was doing it then, but I did it and I passed the class, but I didn't learn anything. I learned where the C was on the.
But you learn it now.
My point is, we're taking the step forward, and we're fully capable of getting it done at a slower pace. If you need to, just fucking do whatever you feel like doing in your heart. Because in my heart, I feel like, hey, Oscar, I feel like it can be done. Not just go do it. It's I can do this.
Hi, baby.
Right, and I'm doing it, and it hurts, and it's this, and it's that. Focus, man. You're only fucking playing with this thing for 15 minutes once a day, twice a day, maybe. You're just playing with your fingers, trying to get everything to align, get both sides of your brain working back and forth, your left and right. And I'm like, I don't know. Last night I was like, I don't think I could do this while I'm playing the notes. I was just, after I do it 3 times, I lose the left right thing.
I didn't think I could make these. Remember when I had to do a test run 3 times because the sizing was wrong. 3 times. Oh, thank you so much. I had to do a test run 3 times.
Sending you positive vibes. Love you so much.
And it ended up working out great. Better than better than the ones I bought. And I paid $12 for the ones I bought. I bought 2 of them. They were $10 and $12 for the ones I bought. And these are much nicer and they cost about $10.
Those
I know they're beautiful.
look great.
They're gorgeous.
From what originally was looked at,
Mhm.
I went, what? That's
Mhm.
cute, to yo. And you
Yeah.
were like, I didn't even know what I
Oh,
was
and
doing.
it's structurally sound. You can't break it.
No, those are
Yeah, I know.
like dun dun dun,
Yeah.
because the idea was to have them stand up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go through a few rounds of just, and then you just took it one piece at a time. I watched you
Yeah.
go through this fucking process.
Yeah.
And we're all just stepping out of the box a little bit. Just because I had this really, really weird dream. I'm like, just because I do rap music, hip hop, I don't do rap, I do hip hop, doesn't mean I can play an instrument. And that other version of me is like, let me ask you a question. So if I
Right.
told you you already know this because it's me and I'm you,
Right.
doesn't that put your whole thing in another place?
Mm.
Like, doesn't that shoot your,
Right, it
your
makes
whole
it
theory
easier.
down?
Mhm.
And then you just could know it if you just open yourself to it.
Yes.
So last night when I was doing it, I actually played for another 5 minutes of ridiculous.
But what you did was
nonsense.
smart. You put the keys. You put the
I
you
sat
put
here
the notes on the keys.
one night for 20 minutes, high as it gets, staring at this thing, wanting to play it, watching the guy play, trying to remember where everything goes. And I'm like, should I buy the stickers to put on this thing? I'm like, bro, I paid $40 for this.
Write it.
Just write it right on there. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do it all. And then I go, wait a second. Are you using it? Yeah. Is it a beauty pageant? No. Is it for learning? Yes.
Right.
If you don't like it, are you going to fucking throw it out or give it to someone?
No. You gotta
Well,
keep
no,
it.
the answer was, yeah, of course. I'll just, if I'm giving it, give it up. So it's $40. We spend more on a shitty dinner
Right.
than on a
On a
device
shitty dinner,
that
right.
can teach you. And all you got to write. This is the point, the mental argument of writing the C note. This is a C. I fucking took that pen. I marked the whole thing up. I started instantly understanding.
Remembering where the
I could understand what they're saying.
Right.
And then I can't keep up with them at all.
You just have to find
So-
a different video.
No, I just getting,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get rhythm.
You'll get better.
and it all comes from step by step. Just like I watch you
I
sewing
did
with
it.
certain things.
I did it, and I'm doing another test run to do it a different way, and I had to do this twice, and I'm sure the third time this will be perfect.
And then what you'll be able to do
Yeah.
after pumping out one of those is going,
Right.
like, I kind of mastered this
Mhm.
thing that
Yeah.
I literally
So I
2
know
weeks
what
ago
comes
didn't know
next.
shit.
Yeah. Didn't know how to do it.
All right. This is what I'm talking about, everyone. You can easily start conquering things that make you, they just get your interest, and you could go, oh, let me take a look at that. Oh, let me see.
You didn't know how to make a scrambled egg.
Not the way I do now.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, how awesome was?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you really enjoy the dinner?
Oh, yeah.
before?
Frank made burgers and fries tonight. They were bomb.
Yeah, I enjoyed
They
mine
were
so
bomb.
much.
Mine was perfect.
You know what I did with mine? I tried something new because that I'm gonna call it the Mandalorian. That you chop the onions with
Uh-huh.
gave me an idea, and I sliced the onion really thin, and it made the ring. And I took the whole ring, and when I was smashing down the burger, I put
Mhm.
the onion in the middle of my burger
Mhm.
because I didn't want to cook them separately.
Right.
And then I just cooked it at a lower temperature for a little bit longer than I
Mhm.
normally do, but it was perfect.
Right.
I didn't know any of this stuff. So for you at home listening, go, well, Frank's just talking about cooking and sewing and this and that. We didn't know.
You didn't know. You didn't know how to do before.
Didn't know. So you knew
And now
me
you learned.
before I knew how to do that. How's that
Right.
sound? Like I
Right.
was doing this show longer than I knew how to do any of this stuff.
No
And I'm-
wheat oil tonight. No, because of the show. But yes, we usually.
I
do
was
use
so fucking tempted to put it in there. And I said, if I put this in there,
Yeah,
she's not getting up.
No,
for the
I would
show.
not have gone up for the show.
At all.
Because it relaxes me so
Yeah, we get
wonderfully.
Yeah, even my back stops hurting when I do the
Yeah.
wheat oil. You'll feel it.
Yeah,
thump,
it just feels.
and then
Yeah,
the thump
yeah.
just
That's
goes
how
away.
that's how my
I'm
neck and shoulder feel. It just goes.
So your
like this.
symptoms lately, because we are
Oh,
all
I've been
upgrading.
bad. Yeah.
We're right after the full moon. I noticed something with you, and me too, but more so you. The snap, crackle,
Oh,
and pop
yeah.
with you,
Terrible.
out of control.
Terrible.
But
But
other symptoms?
I have not been on the naproxen since I forgot how many months ago I publicly went on the show and stopped taking
She
it.
actually said something live and stuck to it. Not that she doesn't stick to
I
stuff.
said something live and I stopped taking the pills.
And then stopped.
And then from the day I stopped taking the pills, I haven't taken those pills. And I am hurting like a mofo. I am putting creams and oils on me. But I have not even thought once about taking the pills.
However, that's amazing.
Mhm.
So your actual dominance over your pain factor has been, and yours is pretty good, by the way.
I can manage the pain.
What other symptoms? Because when I listened to your arm today and helped you with your arm,
Oh
and
my
then your
God,
back,
my
and then-
back.
so if you're going through that, and I know what I'm going through.
I feel like
I imagine what
broken
someone
glass.
else.
If I feel like if I fall on the floor, I'm gonna break into a million pieces. That's how I
so
feel.
tight. I get
Yeah,
so tight.
that's how I feel. So tight. It's terrible.
Then I'm like, how am I
It's
walking
terrible.
around?
That's
like
why I was
this?
stretching all day, just stretching and moving all day. Standing there and holding those weights is actually
Kettlebells are amazing. Yeah.
the best. And because I can only hold them for like a minute or less than a minute each time, but just holding them really does help straighten your body out. And so what I'll do is I'll hold them for like 30 seconds, or I could get up to like 45 seconds sometimes, but I can't do a full minute yet. And then I'll put them down, and then I'll wait, and then I'll do it again. And I do it like 2 or 3 times, and it's enough, I feel like, to put me, and I've been using that little wheel, and it's been keeping me in line. But I've been having
I bought this thing called the
really
Chirp
hard time.
wheel, right? So it's like,
and the stretching definitely does help.
it's like I don't have one out here.
Yeah, it's the perfect size. It's a small wheel.
Neither one of us could use the big one.
Yeah, and it's like the
medium sized one's great, but the small one, man, you put this thing, it has traction on it, and it like realigns your spine.
Yeah, it's like going to a chiropractor, realign, so you'll hear click 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 all the way up, because it pushes everything back.
Everything goes into place.
And you feel the oxygen that
blood rushes to your head.
The blood rushing to your
feeling
head.
Better in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would be able to do, because my back goes out in that one spot.
Me too. I have that one spot. I have 2 spots in my middle back and my lower back. It's 2 spots, and I hit them, one with the roller, and I hit the other one with the weights.
Yeah,
it popped right back in. But yeah, it's been rough. It's the weather. You had a
nasty headache.
I had a very bad headache. I had I don't know if it was an upgrade headache or if it was just a headache. I think it was actually just a 3D headache. Like, I don't think there was anything to be learned through the experience of having that headache. I think it started when Della and Joe had stopped.
You guys were talking about having a headache.
And I had a headache for 2 days.
Yeah, it was the craziest
it
fucking
just
thing.
broke. It just broke this morning when I woke up.
And
because I had a headache for a couple
weird
of days.
Shit with me. I drank 6 of. Could you show them the ball jar?
Yeah, they're 12-ounce glasses. Oh, this way. They're 12-ounce glasses.
I had 6 of those.
Yeah.
4 cups of hot water, tea, like tea water, I call it. I just put some honey in it when it's hot, when I got the window open with the cats. And then we had 2 humidifiers on, and I was waking up and peeing.
Mm-hmm.
I was remembering my dreams, and then I was turning into a dried out. I've remembered all my dreams in the past week,
which is weird because you never do. See, Della had headaches too. Yeah, 3 days in a week. Yeah, me too, Della. I had a headache for a couple of days.
I woke up and I felt like I was dehydrated.
Yeah, you said that.
What the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. That was just my evening drinking of water. I couldn't put it in me fucking fast enough. Like, it wasn't working. And then I wasn't going to the bathroom. But when I went to bed that night at like 3:30 in the morning, I started getting up every 40 minutes.
Should be.
And I pee for 2 minutes straight. I'm like, man, I drank all that water hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going on here? Like, I felt like my stomach got really fat.
Tell them what
and
they
it was just
told
all
you.
Water. And they told me a lot of stuff.
They told you not to drink the water that late at night.
Oh yeah. Don't over. Oh no, to reverse.
Yeah, to drink it during the day.
So I have a history with just drinking coffee, and then instead of drinking the water and then going back to coffee, so I'll just go coffee until evening almost. Sometimes
Right.
like 4 o'clock, and then start pounding water from 4 until fucking 3 in the morning.
Right, and then you have to pee it all
And they're
out.
like, dude, you need to wake up and drink water like that, and then just drink. You could drink coffee all day if you want.
But drink the water in between, and that's what I'm trying to do. But it's hard, you know. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to drink water. I mean, you can only zhuzh water up
And the
so much.
accents of being all the way to the left in terms of your emotional feeling and your physical symptoms, all the way to the right 10 seconds later, right? Like you'd be like, I don't know what's happening. Like, you've watched me do it. I'll come out, it's like I'm broken.
I do it all the time.
My mouth is completely, I'm dry all of a sudden. Just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? And then boom, I'm fine walking around. Like, what? And every shade in between. Almost like
Horrible.
where the energy is one way. We're able to move in it, and then you hit like a wall of jello, and then it goes.
Yeah, it's like slow motion.
Why can't I? I keep dropping nothing's working. I remember looking up the other day, and somebody posted, "It's retrograde again," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Here we go again."
In the mud backwards.
Well, we got really messy for not messy. That's the wrong
It was
word.
a couple of
but,
days
like,
in a row.
But we
It was
I
messy.
think we both felt it. Like,
It did. I didn't want to
I
cook.
didn't feel right at all.
I didn't cook. Remember, we were eating frozen pizzas. I didn't cook. Remember, it was horrible. And you cooked the last 2 nights but I cooked breakfast.
Yes, I don't mind. I love cooking for you.
No, thank you. I love you cooking, but
I only know how to make certain amount of
no,
things.
I know. But usually I'm not anti. Like I don't want to be in the kitchen. But that's just the way it's been, and it's weird because I usually don't like to feel that way. I like to be creative in the kitchen.
We tried the Mandalorian.
We use a mandolin. We had to make
and she's afraid to use it because she hurt herself on it.
I
so
cut
I
my
used it.
finger on it a couple of years ago. A big chunk of my thumb off.
Yeah,
by accident.
So
and
I'm loving it. Not dumb.
So I haven't really used it, and I make these pickled onions, and I said if I run the onions through the Mandalorian, the pickling effect, this is the way, the pickling effect will work better. And I did a test run on a half an onion, and then it worked. And then Frank,
man, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I always, when we use a product, when we use stuff together, fine. But when I haven't used a product yet,
you were great.
Then I'm like, why the fuck does she want to use this so bad? I gotta do this.
It was
with
the
her.
best thing because we did pickled onions, and
it was like professional.
It looks like he professionally julienne these onions. They are so fine. And they're in the pickling brine right now, and they're going to be amazing.
And my point for this wonderful thing is creating something awesome like this for us, and doing it together. And people are like, well, my mother cooks or whatever. Well, I fucking don't. Right. So it's another experience. And now taking this,
right,
you guys could look at this and go, wow, that's fucking cool. You know what I do? I fucking paint. Or I do this, or I build this, and check out what I did. And a swarm of that will overtake our consciousnesses.
We had to snowproof and put the didn't we, when we had to weatherproof the dog houses, we had to put that survival blanket around it. So we have the survival blanket that if you're in the dog houses, it's like 50 degrees. So we wrapped them in this survival blanket, in this thermal survival blanket, and it helped because it protected also from the snow. And then we have this potted plant,
wind, rain, everything.
And then we have a potted plant right in front of the 2 openings, so that you can the cats really go in. So we have one cat, Max, who lives in one of them. And he goes snuggled all the way in the back, and I have to crawl on my hands and knees and bend down to look to see if he's in there. And he's like, hi. And I go, oh, Max, okay. And then we just check. But I mean, just the creating that we've had to done to maintain that we've had to do, like
through love and caring,
to maintain what we have going on here is amazing. Like we were watching this YouTube video about this man talking about the Space Force and how they had a ship that was an alien ship, and there was nothing soft on the ship. It was all hard surfaces. And Frank says, no throw blankets. Like we have throw blankets every 4 feet. There's a throw blanket. And, you know, Frank was like,
get chilly in
no
here?
throw blankets and nothing. So no soft, cushy pillows.
I'll just wear this tight second skin.
And it was so funny because, you know, I mean,
my big head and this little neck, I wouldn't need a scarf at all.
This is a man that actually bought custom blankets that cost a lot of money each, and he was like, these are the blankets I want, and these are the blankets I'm buying. And I'm like,
deserve,
you do you.
And you are worthy, right? Don't wait no more for you. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time wasting your time. Don't waste 20 minutes writing the C note, the letter C on the fucking $40. You know what I've done with $40? I've thrown it to the wind.
You sniffed it. You sniffed $40.
Don't make me laugh. $40. See, this is what I'm saying. $40. Hey, get the fuck out of here, right? But if I can take that whole theory of science and twist it on its head and go, yeah, for $40, I can.
But it's yours. It's your keypad forever.
I could make a master out of myself.
But no one's going to come here and say, why did you write letters on it? No one's going to ask.
That's the brain argument that somebody might have out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
why not
be afraid to do it, because you're just
make it easy
time.
For you. Well, look, we marked the rulers and everything. Remember when we were doing
it's okay.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. It's
okay. Just go and do it. And you'll find yourself in a position of always going, oh, wow, well, you know, it's almost like, you know, one man's kind of junk is another man's treasure.
But it is.
Right? You can just take something and turn it into, alchemize it into exactly what you need, and then just work it. And if you get good at it on that level and you want to buy yourself something nice, now you know what you're doing.
But we talked about it today. We were making a joke that Frank and I should each go back to our elementary schools, the 6th grade class, and go, look, they're lying to you. The only math you will ever need is geometry sometimes, and you'll need to always have a good tape measure in your house, because you use a tape measure for everything.
Know your multiplication.
Yeah, and that's all you need, because I am going to be 49 years old next week, and I've never used any of the math that I've learned. I've only multiplied, and we've used a tape. I've never used a tape measure as much as I've used a tape measure in this apartment. No, I used a tape measure twice today because I had to order we have a cat tree, and I wanna reupholster it. So I ordered felt. So I ordered it in yards. So I'm gonna try to do it. I think I can do it.
Is that velvet?
Shut up. So you're so stupid. So, not stupid. You're so silly. So I used a tape measure twice today. So, you know, it's like that's our joke. Like, it's all a lie. You don't need any of it. And just stop being a dummy.
Yes. So I believe this was Shane's question. Have you ever worked with the upper chakras as the star chakra?
I don't even know where the star chakra is.
I'm going to show you where it is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Show me
Go
right
get
now.
the mirror. And then
go get the
set
mirror.
It up right here, and you stand over there and you touch your toes. Hey, didn't I pay you $1 to touch your toes, then touch your dick?
That's nice, Frank.
Yeah, I think you did.
What is that, Beer Fest?
Yeah. All right. So, Shane, I have worked with the star chakras, the star chakra, the universal chakra, the galactic chakra. Yes, I didn't even know they existed. You have a, what was that? You have it above you, out of your body, above your crown chakra. Then you have another one, and another one, and another one. I don't really know how many, and I don't know what to call each and every one of them, but I experienced it. I looked up, and I came back from my experience and asked Paula, did you know that we have a universal? So with that chakra, I could be anywhere in the universe like that. Like you just connect to whatever. This is what I was saying about the light body. The light body is like the thing that just allows you to connect and go every direction. It's the physical representation of what like the star chakra can do. You can just go. You don't need a portal. You don't need, you could just boop there. Right. And on the higher level, it's just the higher areas that you can go. As a light being or a creator, there's no place that you cannot go. There's places you probably shouldn't go, but if you're prepared, you do what you got to do, right? I've seen the light body move through vortex portals where you transmute things like a giant black hole of sorts, and you just walk them in and they get torn apart and nothing happens to me. I'm like, whoa. And they're like, yo, you can just go wherever you want, do whatever you want. These higher chakras allows you traveling. You're connected to the whole thing. So you could just go into the different areas, access, do whatever. And then that's how I experienced it. Like I jumped to source, came out, and I saw look like a star was following me. And I'm like, what is that? Like, that's you. Boom, boom, back into it. Oh, well, this is great. From up here, I can see all this stuff, even more from the level that you're seeing it at, meaning source. Yeah. Then you drop down, you could be in another layer, another level, the galactic chakra. And you're, just to keep it simple, you're in that area where the galactics are watching us and you're unaware because you're down here that they're even there. And then you're sitting above right there with them, looking down. And now you can see everything from that level. Boom. And you could fall into the next one until you're back into your body and you're back at your ground chakra, to your chakra, which grounds you to here where you're standing. That's my info that I have on that kind of stuff. There's probably way more to it than that, but I keep it simple because if I get hung up on it, I mean, what am I trying to extra learn about it? I know it's accessible. I know that it's there. It's true. I'm ready to rock. What do we do? Right? So if you know this takes you here, this takes you there, you just access it and go. But at the level that I'm at, I don't think to myself, well, star chakra or galactic chakra, and then travel through the galactics. Like I just go do it. A lot of times I'll chase something or be running from something and find myself in certain places, and then they can't access them. Right? I'll grab something that's trying to frighten me, and then it'll try to squiggle away, and I'll just start flying up with it. I'll contain it and just fly up with it and just smile, because you can't go up here. You can't go into this density, into this layer. And those chakras. All right. So being the flesh body and the creator who agrees to come into the flesh body to be part of this cycle so they could unlock and experience what we're about to experience. All that shit is implemented inside the hologram to begin with your digital holographic structure. I want to say it correct because I know there's a lot of weird ways to say the same thing. Right? So those points have to be there for you to even be here. So it's not like others don't have it. We all have the ability to do all this stuff. It's up to you to make the choice to access them, use them, learn about them, and then put it to good use. See, Paul has got me on this thing, like, and even Josh, you the magician, where it's just,
what?
You should be able to just do it.
Oh, do you think it?
But yeah, you think it, you can do it. But when you're first starting, that sounds ridiculous because you're sitting there overthinking it, over trying to do it. But at this level now, we're years later into it, I'm not thinking like, let me go outside, breathe 3 times through my nose, activate my chakras from here to here. That's very awesome to do in the beginning to get, just like, I guess, playing a piano. Maybe I'll just wrap this to that. At first, you're awkward with it and you have to dictate right on your stuff so you know what's going on. You have notes everywhere. But at this level, I just go, walk outside, take 3 monster breaths without even thinking about it, automatically connect whatever layer needs to be checked, instantly try to get a bird's eye view of my surroundings inside my bubble. And it all happens like that. right? Like if something needs to be accessed, like a relative of mine, like, oh, someone passed away, even just a friend, somebody connected to me, I can just go, what do you need?
Right.
And they go, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're here. So let them see. It's that quick. It's like bringing them in. Like my grandmother said with Ellen, my grandmother had passed, and then my grandmother shows up in the Aya DMT experience. And she's like, I can't. Ellen's like, I want in on that. And she's like, I can't. You're not my DNA, like directly. So I don't have your permission.
Right.
Like
so she gave her permission.
And then she gave her permission, and the whole thing changed. Right. So shit like that. Don't forget to ask questions. Take the responsibility for self. It'll lead you into a beautiful place and a beautiful position in what you want to do. It'll lead you way beyond the star chakra into the galactic, intergalactic, interdimensional. It's all there for you to just access. And it's all inside of you. So it's really just points and triggers within yourself. Right? Which is crazy because the more you think you're going outward is the deeper you're going inward.
Oh, I like that.
This is fun. I'm telling you, it's a bizarro world.
I like that.
We're in the upside down, and the upside down's about to right side up. So it looks like a pyramid, and I know we talked about this before, the inverted pyramid. That would be what we're thinking is the above, and that there's a line where the tip of one pyramid touches to the other, the mirror reflection, right? So we're like, oh, we're in the pyramid, and then there's the pyramid up there. Well, we're in the upside down. We're really in the reverse flip, right? So that connection, when we make that connection, those tips are going to drop, and one's going to rise. And I think I blew my nose on the fucking...
The diagram. Oh,
the diagram, but it becomes a Merkaba. It falls. One comes.
Is that the one I put aside?
Yeah. I blew my nose on it. That tip goes. This side goes up. We are raising the foundation to go in that direction.
And the other side comes down.
We're meeting the higher ups, and that tip goes down and touches the line on the other pyramid, and they start spinning, creating Merkaba. And we're doing that with ourselves. The planet's doing that. The whole thing is moving in this beautiful, wonderful thing. So you can access all of it. And you are the light. You are the true power. You are the force in this universe. You are the source in this universe. You are the source in the sauce, boss.
Okay.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Don't think there's a show Saturday, but maybe we'll get something done during the week. We'll do something else. So, because Saturday's taken, we have some stuff to do, but we love you guys. Remember, everyone, let me check real quick. I appreciate you spending your time with us. I know we run off track. We go through crazy stuff sometimes. Just know we're all in it together, and we're rising. We're so much further past. Remember, as the story plays out, the bottom of the toilet spins really quick. So it's going to happen fast. So all these weird things, as when you took a nap and I took a shower, when I came out here, there were multiple reports of people senators of both Republican and Democrat. Wait, that were arrested for pedophilia and
before the show?
Yeah. And
we didn't go over that. Usually I do the
yeah, we didn't have a chance.
There was no time. So usually when I fall asleep and I wake up, I go, Frankie, what did I miss when I was out? And he fills me in on all the news stories that I missed.
So we're on top of stuff.
And I guess that happened, and we didn't have time to go over it before the show. So
because once the child trafficking stuff keeps flopping onto the table, I keep saying it's going to keep coming, drip, drip, drip.
Right.
They're not slamming the whole thing at once. This is just going to play out. And it is just what it is, and we're going to watch the whole play out while we're doing our own personal upgrades. Like I was saying, like if you don't know a child that's getting trafficked, or you can't physically help that way, or you can send love and energy and healing, but you still have to do your 3D stuff, and you need to work on that and do that while the play is playing out.
Lift the frequency.
In the play, it's real. When people get shot, they die. When this happens, they jump off buildings, they get splattered.
But you can raise your vibration.
But you have to go and raise your vibration in the midst of that crazy.
Love you too.
When it's your time for action, then you make your move. Be responsible for yourself. Shine at it. So when others look over, they're like, oh man, I feel good in your presence. I feel, you take care of you. And I feel like I take care of me, but it's so good to be that there's others like us. It becomes a sharing is caring and a good thing. And then you just turning the blind eye. You're fully aware of the bullshit, but you're not giving it credibility. You're keeping it here. And if it steps over the line, you got to do what you push it back. But if you're not physically involved with it, you can send your energy to it to one degree or another. But remember to keep your energy high and do you. You are the most important. I can't explain that more. I need you to turn into versions of the best versions of you, to be out there with the best version of me and Paula and the cats and everyone else and the Fearless family and all the other families and the other tribes. Just raise your vibration. We'll worry about all the other shit on the other side. If we just shake it up to the high place, we're going to look over and go, I didn't even mean most of this stuff, because all the other shit's going to fall away. It's the stuff right around you. It's my neighbor that I care about. Even if he's doesn't care about me, I still like, well, it's my neighbor, I'm gonna make sure something, happens. I'm gonna help the thing right in front of you, not out there. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. Remember, the universe rewards bravery, and stay fearless, everyone. This right here is my etherical translator, Paula fucking Milo.
Be
you
safe,
remember
everyone.
that fucking name, but no, I'm just kidding. And if you do see us in dreams helping out, man, we love you guys. Of course we're going to help. Our job is to be part of that. And if you do have questions, hit me up. We're here all week in Vegas. Love you guys. Peace.